So, as it turns out, the federal government regulates drinking water and sets concentration limits on contaminants, um, above which water it would be considered not fit for human consumption. And this is just a snapshot. There's lists and lists of all the different types of compounds that have been identified as potentially harmful, and then there'd be limits, concentration limits set for all of those. And these limits are listed in units of parts per million. And there's two different standards. One is the MCLG, which stands for the maximum level of a contaminant in drinking water at which no known or anticipated adverse effect on the health of a person would occur. And then the MCL sets the legal limit for the concentration of the contaminant. How much is how much can be in the water, and the water is still considered to be potable. And the MCLG limits are 0 for contaminants that are considered carcinogens. Okay, so for example, just some are listed here: cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, nitrates, benzene, and trihalomethanes, such as chloroform here. And you can see that in most cases, the maximum level, the MCLG, is the same as the MCL. So this is the maximum known limit where no adverse effects would be found. And so then the limit here is, well, that. You don't want to go over that, because above this, then there could be harmful effects. Above this concentration, there could be harmful effects. So this would be the limit considered acceptable. And you see it's different here for lead. Lead is dangerous. There's a whole section in your textbook about lead, and you should read it in detail about what it does to the body and whatnot. But it's basically lead accumulates. There's no way to flush it out of your body. It accumulates in your brain and in your bones. And so there's no acceptable limit that is considered safe, because it accumulates in your body, and as soon as some gets in, it's going to stay in. But to be realistic, they had to set some limit, because you can't get all the lead out of water necessarily, and so they had to set a limit, an acceptable limit. And then you see that the others are the same except for benzene and trihalomethanes. There's no acceptable limit that is below which is safe. But they had to set something, because these hydrocarbons and halohydrocarbons are in the environment from industrial reasons, and so it's just about impossible to get 0 everywhere. But these two are considered carcinogens, known carcinogens. That's why they're set at 0. All right, so there's lists and lists of all the different types of organic compounds, which these would be considered organic compounds, and these are considered heavy metals, and they're acceptable values. And so municipal water supplies would be tested for all of these different contaminants, and they would have to stay below those legal limits.